And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel. Today we're taking a look at Arcadia Quest Riders. Really excited about this expansion because I like adding more stuff to Arcadia Quest. It's one of my favorite games. I have so much fun playing it. And so the last expansion I got excited about was pets, where each group got a pet. Now we have mounts. Now we have things that your dudes can ride on. Big, chunky miniatures. I mean, pretty solid miniatures. Let's take a look at what this expansion adds. Okay, so let's talk about what comes in this scenario or in this expansion. So we have some new tiles. That's because there's a complete new set of scenarios that you can play through, a whole campaign. And this campaign uses these new tiles. You're going to need one of the base games, the regular Arcadia Quest or the fiery Arcadia Quest, the Inferno Arcadia Quest, and it has a map for each one. All right, and so this is going to be using the new stuff in here, the mounts and everything, and these tiles. There's a stable on fire. So it adds 3 more of these. But the main thing that this adds, and we're going to talk about these now, are the mounts. So when you play with mounts, you're going to get a mount board that's placed near your player boards. You're going to pick one of the different mounts that the game comes with. And so you can see there's all sorts of mounts that come with this set, and I even have, there's 2 extra ones you're going to be seeing here that were from the Kickstarter, but you're going to get 6 of these with this set. And a mount, you can see that the mount is set up so that you can have someone ride in it. So I can put a character in top of it, and I don't have the base on them, but the base, you can see it's bigger here, the base fits in nicely, and then they're going to be riding around in the mount, and it's a really nice effect to see these characters on these mounts. They look really good. And so just take a look here. This one here is like a dragon. This one is probably my favorite, having a little rhino in the game. We got like a water buffalo here. Here's an owl, and here's that water buffalo type thing I was talking about. And I really like these. There's a lot of details. They're big, they're chunky, and a mount is going to take up an entire space on the board. So if I'm riding around on my mount and I'm in a spot, I'm blocking it from other people, I'm the only person who could be in there, and mounts can push. You move into a spot and you push people to the side, and they're going to have to go to empty spaces that are near them. Now there's different mounts, and each mount has a special ability, and when you use a special ability, you'll put a token on it to show that you've used it, just like a weapon. That mount is activated when you activate the person who's riding it. So here, this one can fly. He can move to any empty space in line of sight. This guy here, when he moves, doesn't trigger guard reactions. The rhino, when he shoves people, also does a wound to them, which I like. This mammoth dude here can trample people. When he shoves characters, he can daze them. This fire guy has his own dragon fire 4 dice attack. He's my second favorite. And then this cute dog here. During this activation, when you shove heroes, you exhaust all cards from each shoved hero unless they take 2 wounds. And he's my third favorite. And so the mounts have these special abilities, and also you'll notice that mounts have an ability to have other things added to them. Some of them are from rewards. So maybe here I have a comfy saddle where the mount can exhaust its mount card twice. Or this lucky bridle, which gives me 2 rerolls. Now rerolls aren't for the mount, they are for the rider that's on top of it. And so there's a lot of different rewards that come with this campaign, but there's also going to be cards. There's a starter card for each person where there's some new mallets that can be added. These aren't necessarily for mounts, they're just another starter weapon you can have. But there's also level 1, level 2, level 3 items in. Not all of them have to do with mounts, like this war mallet doesn't have to do with mounts, or this whip, but some of them do, like this stirrup here. Getting on and off the mount, normally that costs you a movement point for your character. Here with the stirrup, it no longer does. We got sunbeams and javelins, barbarian bridle. If you're on a mount, now you get +1 die to every attack. Here, negate 1 wound the mount would take from each attack. See, mounts can be attacked. They have a hit point total. You can see that here. And when a mount dies, it goes away. When you refresh all your guys and rest, you'll get your mount back again to be able to use them. And so, let's see what else we got in here. A Mount Whisperer. If this rolls attack against a mount, you can move up to 3 spaces. This is good against other people's mounts. Warden's Saddle gives you +3 reroll. And of course, we're now into the level 4 stuff. So, really cool stuff. Mount Shoe at start of your turn, both its mount and its rider heal a wound. So, War Shoes, you can deal 1 wound to any close enemies. Hardy Pad here. And so it tells you mount item, those can only go on mounts. But it also comes with, like I said, other equipment and spells and things. So this will buff out your decks. Since there is a new campaign, there are cards specifically for that campaign that are included with this. And there's also 2 new villains. We have the Jack Lols. I think they're Jack LOLs. Anyhow, they have the ability to re-roll dice. They're a nice basic monster that you'll come across. And then Malcor, who's a big major villain, and bursts on attack rolls, give him 2 extra dice instead of 1, which is pretty crazy. There's a lot of these Jack LOLs, and then there's only one of the big giant one. He's a nice, huge model. And then these guys, I like how they look. They look good. It just adds another kind of generic monster into the game. Also, the game comes with a campaign sheet to use for it. And then, like I showed you, the big rule book. So that's pretty much everything that comes in this expansion and what it does. Yeah, so I like this one a lot. It's a lot of fun to add the mounts. First of all, they look good on the board. They don't add a lot of complexity. And they also don't add a lot of overpower, oh, he has the Rhino, we'll never be able to defeat him. No, they just add one more thing. In fact, I think you can play with the 3 people, a pet, and a mount, and it's not going to be that confusing. So you have this mount running around with the guy on it. It's very easy to see. It gives you a way to absorb hit points to that person. It gives you a chance to, when you go after a person, I got to get through their mount first and take them out, or their mount's that much more deadly, but I have my own mount to attack with. It's just fun. It's just silly fun. The game's already a silly combat style game anyway, and this adds to that. I don't think this is as essential to me as pets. Pets is one of my favorite things ever. If I had to pick between pets and mounts, I would definitely pick pets because I think the pets leveled up, which was kind of neat, and I think I like that a lot. I don't know, maybe the pets are cute. Well, these mounts are cute too, but either way, I don't have to make the decision. I can play with both of them. And I like the fact that this also comes with a full campaign that even, kind of utilizes the mounts and talks about them and things like that. So if you like Arcadia Quest like me and you want to get a whole bunch of stuff, this is good. It feels a little bit different, but there's not a whole lot of rules. You pay a point to get on a mount. Mounts push people out of the way. Mounts take up the whole square. Your mount gets hit first. If you drink a healing potion, you can drink it yourself, or you can give it to your mount. Things like that. Not very complex at all, and everything makes sense. So I was very pleased to get this one, very pleased to add it to my thing. I like it a lot. Like I said, probably not as much as pets, but still pretty good. This is, I'm guessing, the last thing we're going to probably see from Arcadia Quest, since Starcadia Quest is around the corner. But at this point, there is a ton of stuff in the game. I'm really happy with it, and this is just icing on the cake. Dice Tower Judgment, approved!